All right, guys, so oops. Let's try not to break it. Welcome to the channel, guys. So what I wanted to do was throw up a quick video of my initial feedback on a couple of different tools that I just recently received or that I purchased off of Detailed Image. These are tools that I purchased to replace the original tool that I had. And so that tool is the Rag Company Ultra Air Blaster, I think is the actual name of it. The Air Blaster V1. And so this tool was pretty great. I've probably had it for about 6 to 8 months, and I've been using it consistently, and I use it on pretty much every detail. But what was happening was I started noticing that the internal components, they were getting really stuck, and it wouldn't spin. I cleaned it every day. I've heard that you can grease it, so I have to try doing that. But for the most part, probably about 4 or 5 months in, it just stopped spinning. So it was really hard to use, really hard to get kind of the results that I was looking for. So I thought I have to start looking at a different tool. And that's what brought me to Tornador, because that's kind of the name in the Vortex tools, but it was really pricey compared to this one. So I wasn't sure if I wanted to get a new one of these, or if I wanted to possibly switch over to Tornador, because I did hear some issues with Tornador as well. So then they came out with a V2, and kind of around the same time, I also saw a few detailers using the smaller Tornador. So what I decided to do was get both of them. So I got the Air Blaster, Ultra Air Blaster V2, which is what you see here. And then I also got the Tornador Mini, which I felt like might be a little easier to use, especially kind of when you're getting underneath the seats and smaller areas. I felt like the smaller one might be a little easier to kind of maneuver around those areas, as opposed to kind of the bigger gun where your hand motions and everything, you're kind of stuck using it in this way, as opposed to this one where you can kind of use it with just one finger, or kind of, you know, in different angles. So I got both of these, and I tried it today on a Jeep that I maintain once a month. It had some serious pet hair issues, and it always does every month. She's got a few dogs that she takes kind of every day on walks and outdoors, so there's constantly pet hair flowing through that truck. So I thought, why not? A good way to test these two tools out is to test it on this vehicle. So I'm going to show you a few clips, and what I did was I kind of split the back of the truck into a half, actually. So the left driver's side half, I used the V2 Ultra Air Blaster, and then the passenger side rear, I used the Tornador Mini. And so I'm going to share a few clips here so you can see kind of the difference, and then I'll share some final thoughts of after using it. So let's get to the video, and I'll show you the results from there. All right, guys, so you saw the footage. Let me know in the comments what you think. My initial thoughts after using it, I kind of lean towards this one. I mean, I think the results were kind of similar. This might have had an edge on this in certain areas, like the back of the seat. But I think overall, they kind of performed pretty similar. Like I said, this one kind of had a little bit of an edge. But for me, I kind of leaning towards this guy. And the reason why is kind of what I mentioned in the intro, was the way you can maneuver this around as opposed to this one. It's much easier to maneuver this, especially in this vehicle, the Jeep specifically. I was able to get underneath the seat and maneuver around the seat pillars. I was able to maneuver around it and get into angles that I couldn't with this one, because it's a little bigger, because your kind of range of motion is a little limited. So this one I felt like was a user-friendlier than this one was. So I think the best case scenario is for you guys to have both of them for those different scenarios. But I think that if I had to recommend one over the other, I think I would definitely choose the mini Tornador. And that one is here. It's called the Z007 Mini Tornador Professional Cleaning Tool. I will post here somewhere how much I got it from Detailed Image. I want to say it was about 30 bucks with the business discount. But in terms of pricing, I think they're pretty similar. The actual gun version of the Tornador is much pricier. I think it's kind of in the 40s or 50s. I'm not really sure. I've always known that it's been way more expensive, so I've never even considered it as an option, just because I'm not trying to pay that much for a tool that I know is going to break down eventually. I'm not going to get, it's not a lifetime product. It's not a lifetime tool. So spending $80, $90, $100 on something that I only use, you know, every other detail, just didn't make any sense to me. But these are a little more pocket friendly in terms of pricing. So that's the Tornador. This is, like I said, the Z007 Mini is this one here. And then the other one is the Ultra Air Blaster cleaning tool. And that's, like I said, the V2. Which is what they have out. I don't know if they've totally phased out the V1, so I'm not sure if you have to choose one or the other, but if you do, I would definitely go with the V2. Initial thoughts, it feels more powerful. It definitely works a little better, and hoping that the new construction where they have the metal end as opposed to the total plastic funnel, maybe that will help with the breakdown. They also sell the pieces separately, which doesn't kind of free them from fixing the problem. I guess that's their solution to the problem, is getting you new, whatever this spinning thing is called, a new one if it doesn't work. But so far, first initial thoughts, definitely a great tool, definitely an upgrade from the V1. But I think that if you had to choose one or the other, I would definitely go with the mini Tornador. The price is right and it works really well. It's a powerful little thing. So thanks for watching the video. I hope that this gave you some insight on these tools and maybe helped you choose the one that you feel might benefit you the most. So thank you guys again, and stay tuned for the next one. See ya.